Hey folks, RB here. It's been quite a few days I haven't recorded the video, so I thought I'll just give an update since we are kind of halfway through the earnings. We have Apple and Amazon reporting tomorrow, but other than that, we are done with Microsoft, Meta, and Google. Right. So on the weekly newsletter, I kind of shared that this week should be a big week with all the earnings coming up. Maybe we'll get some shift from these tight ranges which have been forming since September 19. Right, this range we traded sideways for quite a while, and we just popped up for a day or two, and then we have been trading sideways again for a very long time. And if you compare this with the previous many weeks or months, I mean, we had very strong momentum for long term and then balancing for quite a few weeks, right? So this has been the first, I think, since last October when we have been just balancing for quite a bit. I think certainly market is slowing down. The momentum is low. If you see from the RSI, it's kind of showing these divergences right now. Right, so my theory hasn't changed through the week with the earnings coming up. I still stay more bearish on the bearish side for now, at least. It's just that for option players, last 3 days have been a bit terrible because price has been just bouncing between two levels of 5818 and 5850 and sticking to 5835 all the time, right? So if you're taking scalps, either you are just quickly getting in, making 20%, 30% and getting out, or you kind of get the stop loss hit immediately because the price is reversing very sharply, right? So that's what has been happening. And with MSFT and Meta earnings today, for the first time, we in the last 3 days, we saw a break in this uptrend. Right now, I think SPX is trading somewhere around or below 5800, which is another critical point, right? So going back to where we were, right? So now, I mean, certainly this balance zone. I think we should continue exploring the price lower. Ideally, if this is my wave four, if I just measure it from here to the top, I should be looking at least somewhere around 38% correction on this, which comes closer to 5700. And I've been talking about little higher levels as 5726 as a zone, but I wouldn't mind it hitting this completely this level of 5680, which is a good zone up here where the last balance zone was, and the price kept hopping up, right? So even if it comes here, it isn't uh, a bad drop. I would consider it still as a as a good drop, as a corrective drop. And if this happens with tomorrow or with Apple earnings or Friday, I think it's good because then we can look at one more rally up with the elections coming up, right? So that's one way of looking into it. But if this price keeps chopping for another 3 4 days, then there is a chance that this move down and move up can push into the elections as well, right? So that's one possibility that I'm looking at. I will be only bearish if the price starts trading below this, at least below this level, where my one is marked right here. If it starts trading below 5618, then I'll be looking at this as something else. May not be a wave four, maybe the complete reversal is starting, right? And maybe we completed this pattern with 1 2 3 4 5 right here, and we are just now dipping for an A, B, and C. And in one of my previous videos, I shared that I don't expect this wedge to break to the upside. That's my like not the base case. I'm not looking at that. If that happens, that's kind of a melt up scenario, but I wasn't looking at that. My point is that it should come 4 5, and then we should see the drop. And the drop I was talking about was something like this, right? Now, if the drop has already started by making a top here, then we are looking at something like this. It comes down, probably bounces somewhere around 5600 area, goes up a little bit, maybe touches 57.50 again, and then goes back down again, right? Something like that. That's possible. But again, that's not my base case. I think we will have some sort of a bounce here from this particular zone and demand, right? And heading up to probably 59.50, may touch a 5600 as a throwover with the elections, depending upon how they position it. I don't know who's going to win or not, but again, I mean, I'm just looking at market makers to do what they do the best and push this up once more, make everybody bullish, and then pull the rug, right? So that's what I'm looking at. But when you kind of pull out and you know you start looking at a bigger picture, I'm also looking at that. Okay, maybe this 5400 drop is one case that we are looking at, right? Is it? It's also possible that we might be doing a little bit more over the period of time. If I'm looking at this as 1, 2, and this is completing like as an ending diagonal for this wave 3, this wave 4 can take a little bit of time and give us 5140 over the period of time, like over 3-4 months, something like that. When we talk about Santa Rally doesn't really mean that we have to make a new high. I mean, if you get this drop between half of December or by end of November, then you can chop up as well. During the December, another 350 points here from 5400 to 5750, something like that. That can be considered as a Santa rally as well, right? And before and after that, the new year, you get an extra up again to our 5150 target. So that's a kind of a pattern I'm looking at right now. Given how the price is losing the momentum, the weekly indicators are also very losing the momentum here, showing divergence as we are making new highs, right? So this kind of makes sense. And if you see this overall level as 5131 is kind of showing up as 38%, but as if we pull higher, let's say at 6000, or here somewhere 6000, yeah, 5200, somewhere around this number, right? So 5150, 5200, this is where I expect this drop to conclude in the first quarter sometime, right? And after that we can have further rally up, right? So that's a kind of a view I have right now. We'll see how it goes in the next upcoming weeks, but right now I'm just waiting for the election to be over so that this price can start expanding a little bit more, either to the upside, like I said, we move from the support at 5685 or 5700 towards 6000. That's a good 300 points move that we can capture, right? I think it's worth to swing those, at least at this point, to swing those longs, and then once we go there, it's a good swing to get those shots, right? So I think these two trades makes a lot of sense if you're a swing trader and not just looking for some scalps. Whether you do it with the futures or whether you do it with ETFs or long-term options, right? So these are the two things that I'll be looking at, and let's just quickly look into the Qs as well. Qs are actually making a double top sort of a scenario here, right? So I do expect that there would be one move up to kind of grab the liquidity above from this previous high before it starts heading lower. That's my anticipation. I mean, you can see that this is not really making a lot of stronger moves. It's been just chopping around for now a very long time, I can say, right? And what I would expect is that if the price moves down here again with this somewhere around 485 or maybe touching 480 as well from this, we can try making one more move up here, and then we just kind of crash over, right? Just aligned to what I said for SPX. Now, whether the drop will be only towards 447 as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and an ABC, and then the continuation happens, or it becomes like a larger 4 I was saying, and this was some sort of a zigzag with A, B, and C, right? And then we are heading down towards making a double bottom here. somewhere around 412, right? So that's another possibility for the Qs, and it's long due for a stronger correction. I mean, I do not expect this to just keep moving up, up, up for now. Once it comes to 412, yeah, it opens up the possibility for a fifth wave after that, and I'm just looking at that this interim third wave was just completed here somewhere, and that's how I'm looking at it. This is one, two, probably we had this three, four, and now this we are completing. We completed the five, and we have an A, B, C going on, or we are completing a five here with this move as a one, two, three, four, five as an ending diagonal. And probably this was another one, two, three, four, five, something like that, right? So there are various ways to look into it. It may not be perfect, but it can be looked into it like this as well, as a subwave for wave 3, and we have this primary going here like one, two, three, four, and then 5 later on, right? So that's a bigger wave count on the larger degree, and we are looking at doing some 550, 600 maybe later on in the next year sometime after this correction is over, right? So before this whole wave count comes to an end, and we have some bigger correction later on, right? So I don't know what that would be like, and we will get to that when we get to that, but for now this is all what I'm looking at on a short time scale, right? So let's see what happens tomorrow with Apple and Amazon earnings. If you want to stay short, I mean, you can stay short as 50 as your stop loss, and look for the targets at 5700, and I think that's where we need to be. Right, hope this helps, and if you like my content, please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. And if you want to join any of my premier services, you can find the info in my bio or on my website rbanalytics.net. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye bye.